Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy DLloyd, and we are here for episode number 43 of our Tennessee Titans Madden 16 Connected Franchise Series. Now I'm here with another live commentary, and this is the playoff preview. We're going to go through and show the final standings, the final stats, as well as some of the awards this season. But we're going to start things off looking at the stories, and if you read our first story, it will tell you that MVP is going to go to our quarterback, Marcus Mariota. So in his second season in the NFL, he will win the MVP. And then the AFC Offensive Player of the Year is going to go to our rookie, CJ Carr. They both have fantastic years. We're going to go through and look at their stats in just a second. But looking at the final standings for the year, obviously, we have a first round bye and we clinched home field advantage throughout the playoffs. We finished 14-2. The Cleveland Browns are 12-4. So the top two teams are the Titans and the Cleveland Browns in year number 2. The New York Jets, the New England Patriots, Kansas City Chiefs, and Jacksonville Jaguars. That's going to be the rest of the teams that made it in the AFC. Now looking at the NFC teams, the Arizona Cardinals and the Green Bay Packers are going to be the teams with the first round bye. So even though it shows Seattle up there, it is the Green Bay Packers who held on to that bye. So they're going to be going to the divisional round for sure. And so you're going to have the Seattle Seahawks, New Orleans Saints, and the Carolina Panthers. Those are going to be the teams in the fill out the NFC. And then you have the Philadelphia Eagles as well. I'm not sure how they got in, but I guess they had to have. They probably won the division. I think they had to have won the division because their record was not up there. So yep, the 8-8 Philadelphia Eagles were able to get into the playoffs as well for the NFC. So now we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the stats for the season, and looking at them, look at the whole league actually. Okay, looking at the whole league stats, you have. Go by yards. We're going to have Marcus Mariota, who actually led the league in yards, 4,600 yards passing, 35 touchdowns, 17 interceptions. Now E.J. Durham, he was the #1 overall pick in last year's draft, 4,500 yards, 31 touchdowns, 18 interceptions. So a very similar season to Marcus Mariota in his rookie year. So looking at Aaron Rodgers, he's going to be up there, 42 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, but we did get 3 of those interceptions in last week's game. Matt Barkley, surprising a couple people, 28 touchdowns, over 4,000 yards passing for Matt Barkley. Then we have Carter Heyman. Now, if you've been watching this series and you've seen our games against Jacksonville, you know this guy has an absolute rocket for an arm. He be throwing the ball all over the field. He finished with 30 touchdowns and 15 interceptions. Drew Brees, a down year in touchdowns for him, 23 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. I know he's getting up there in age, and I'm not sure when he's going to retire, but it should be relatively soon. Now another rookie, Hunter Young, 30 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 400 Young this year. So a couple of rookies are having pretty good years. You also have Eric Hyde for the New York Jets, 25 touchdowns, 17 interceptions. So like I said, a lot of rookie quarterbacks had pretty decent years this season. But now looking at the rushing stats, CJ Carr led the league in rushing, 304 attempts, 1,600 yards running, 19 touchdowns, and that is a 5.5 yards per carry. LeGarrette Blount, 1,400 yards, almost 1,500 yards for LeGarrette Blount, 7 touchdowns. Jonathan Stewart is up there. Alfred Morris, Adrian Peterson, 1,200 yards, almost 1,300 yards rushing, which is not bad for AP. DeMarco Murray is up there. Joseph Randle, I know he's not in the league anymore, but he is up there as well. Shane Vereen's up there. That's a little surprising. Ahmad Bradshaw, I think he had a pretty good year last year too when they picked him up for whatever reason, but Ahmad Bradshaw has been balling in Tampa Bay. Eddie Lacy is doing good. Joique Bell, 1,100 yards rushing, 4 touchdowns, which is not a lot, but that is also kind of surprising a little bit. Mark Ingram's up there, Jeremy Hill, Bobby Rainey, Giovanni Bernard, Melvin Gordon, Le'Veon Bell, and LaShawn McCoy. So those are your running backs that went over 1,000 yards this season. looking at the receiving stats, I know we're not going to have no receivers up here, but we'll look at our individual receivers in a second. Terrence Williams, though, led the NFL in receptions with 105. Now, I don't know what happened to Dez Bryant, but Terrence Williams is apparently the guy in Dallas. 10 touchdowns, 85 receiving yards per game. You really cannot beat that whatsoever. Then you have Megatron. He's going to be up here almost every year, just about until he retires. Alshon Jeffrey, this guy could ball. 1,200 yards, 10 touchdowns as well. Brandon Cooks, he scored a couple touchdowns against us. Then you have DeAndre Hopkins, Randall Cobb, AJ Green. Brian Hartline is up there as well. So I really don't know what happened with Dez Bryant, but they've been throwing to a whole bunch of other targets. Emmanuel Sanders, and then Kevin White is up here as well. And then Denard Rowland, Larry Fitzgerald, Martavis Bryant, Brandon LaFell, and then Jordan Matthews. So that pretty much winds down the receiving numbers. Now looking at the defensive stats, Paul Warlow, 167 total tackles. Then you got John Bostic, Brandon Spikes, Demario Davis, Justin Tuggle, I believe that's his name, Brian Cushing. Those are your leaders in total tackles. When we look at sacks, Spencer Evans, 20 sacks this season. That is crazy. Sheldon Richardson, 19, which is expected. Chandler Jones is up there. Robert Quinn, Ali, J.J. Watt, DeMarcus Lawrence, and then Khalil Mack. Those are your sack leaders. Now looking at interception leaders is Bobby Wagner. Not often you see a middle linebacker leading the league in picks, but Bobby Wagner is up there with 7. Deion Buchanan is up there. Rogers Cromartie, and then you have James Laurinaitis. Who else is up here that's kind of surprising? A lot of these people you would have kind of expected to be up here. Richard Sherman's up there, Cromartie. Yeah, so these are the leading players in interceptions for the season. So now let's actually look at the Titans, because like I said, our receivers and our defensive players are not going to be up here just because I don't throw the football enough. So we have Delaney Walker, 62 receptions, just under 1,000 yards receiving. Only 2 touchdowns for Delaney Walker this year, so that is a little bit down from last year. Josh Gordon is up here, 51 catches, 1,100 yards receiving, 8 touchdowns. And then our red zone target, Dorial Green-Beckham, 43 catches, just under 1,000 yards receiving as well, but he did have 10 touchdowns. So now we're going to look at our defensive stats. Barry Church led us in tackles with 107 total tackles. Denoris Searcy, 105, and last year our safeties led us in tackles last year too. So for whatever it is, the way I play, our safeties is always going to be up here with the most tackles. Now we have Wesley Woodyard, Avery Williamson, Jason McCourty, and then D'Angelo Hall. Now looking at our sack leaders, 10.5 sacks for Derek Morgan. Wesley Woodyard had 8.5. Jarrell Casey 6, and then Brian Aragpo had 5.5. And now our interception leaders for the team is Jason McCourty, who had 5 interceptions. Denoris Searcy comes in with 4. D'Angelo Hall comes in with 3, and he had 2 last week, so that really helped him jump up a little bit. Derek Morgan with 2, Paris Cox, Avery Williamson, and then Barry Church had 1. And then looking at our kick returner, which is Eduardo Russell, 64 kick returns, 2 kick returns returned for a touchdown, his longest one being 105 yards. Now looking at the punt returns, 33 of those as well, excuse me, and 2 touchdowns, 70 yards was his longest punt return. So now we're going to take a look at the awards for the year. And like I said, MVP is going to Marcus Mariota. And then Coach of the Year is going to me as well. So that's pretty much a given. For the most part, whoever has the best record in the NFL in Madden gets the Coach of the Year. So looking at the actual awards, Offensive Player of the Year, CJ Carr beat out Marcus Mariota. Jacksonville's quarterback Carter Heyman is up there as well. And then Caesar Ward is up here. Andrew Luck is 5, and so on. So now looking at the defensive players of the year, Demario Davis, Dante Whitner, Danny Trevathan, and I'm talking about Ali, CJ Mosley's up there as well. So those are your top defensive players in the AFC. Rookie of the year, obviously going to CJ Carr. He won the regular offensive player of the year. So because obviously he will win the rookie of the year. Defensive rookie of the year is going to Gianni Russell. I believe that's his name. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. For the San Diego Chargers, 80 overall. Best quarterback, Marcus Mariota. Running back, CJ Carr. Best receiver, Josh Gordon and Dorial Green-Beckham. Now that is a little bit strange to me because none of them led or anywhere near the leaders in receiving yards. So maybe the 10 touchdowns for Dorial Green-Beckham could have put him up there. And I believe Josh Gordon had 9, but that's just a little bit surprising as a whole. Best offensive lineman, Joe Thomas. Sheldon Richardson, best defensive lineman. Ali, best linebacker. And then best defensive back is Dante Whitner. Best kicker, Gostkowski. So looking at the NFC now, offensive player of the year, Aaron Rodgers, and then Hunter Young, the rookie quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals. He finished second. Defensive player of the year, Darrell Washington. Bobby Wagner is second on that list as well. And then offensive rookie of the year, Hunter Young, and then EJ Durham is second. So the two rookies. Rookie quarterbacks, they both had pretty good years, so obviously they will finish 1 and 2 in that voting. Defensive rookie of the year, Spencer Evans, he had 20 sacks, so I mean obviously he's going to go up there as well, and he's an 88 overall. So Washington did a pretty good job with this pick in the draft. Best quarterback is going to Aaron Rodgers. Best running back, Shane Vereen. That's the best running back in the NFC. Best receivers, Calvin Johnson over Terrence Williams, but they're both up there towards leading the league in receiving yards. Best offensive lineman, Iapata's up there. Robert Quinn, best defensive lineman. Spencer Evans, best linebacker, and then Deion Buchanan is the best cornerback. So I think that's pretty much everything. If I left something out, let me know, and I can try to get that into either the next video or one of these videos before we end the regular season. But I'm gonna try to get the first game, like the divisional round, probably on Thursday. That's the date I'm aiming to try to have that out. So definitely look for that one. I'm gonna try to get an Eagles video out for you tomorrow as well. But that is it for this episode. If you have any comments about any of the stats or just anything in general, please let me know in the comment section below. Also, leave this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It's your boy DLloyd. I'm going to see y'all next time. Peace.